Tonight marks the first of 6 straight games to close out the month of June for the Commodores, and also the first of 6 games this season between Falmouth and the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. We welcome you to McKeon Park in Hyannis on this cloudy Friday evening. Matt Levine with my partner David Hadar. And David, both teams coming off an off day yesterday. Both teams coming off a loss in their last game on Wednesday. But Falmouth's a shaky game for them and a pretty big loss that to go into an off day is something that's probably positive for them.
Yeah, I definitely think through 3 games, Falmouth comes in 1-1-1, and I think that this team is still kind of finding who they are. Granted, we're only a couple of games into the season, and we keep saying this, but there's a lot of time left, and these guys are still learning one another and figuring things out and all that. But I definitely think the off day yesterday is going to help this team in a good way. The hitting in the offense has been there all season long thus far. This Commodores team has not been starved for runs in any of the 3 games that they've played so far. It's been the other side of the ball, the pitching, that has been that needs to get cleaned up if this team wants to, start winning some more games on a regular basis going forward, because this pitching staff at the current moment ranks towards the bottom of the CCBL. But a lot of time left, long season, like you mentioned, an off day that these teams are coming off of yesterday, so an opportunity to reset before we get 6 straight games here before another off day.
And just talking about that pitching staff, there's been a mix of so many different arms. We've seen Adam Stone. We've seen Trey McLaughlin get a start that didn't end up counting. Mitchell Stone then gets a start. And we haven't really seen one arm yet that has been so dominant on the mound starting. We've seen the back end of the bullpen be a little bit better with Jackson Phipps and Mike Esposito. But other than that, it seems like every night putting a guy starting on the mound, they've seemed to struggle just a bit.
Yeah, it definitely has been that way. And, you look at the last start that the last game that the Commodores played, and Mitchell Stone, he was roughed up in his first outing here for the Commodores with only 3 innings and giving up 4 runs, 3 of them earned. And that kind of paced Bourne for the entirety of the night. And in the end, Falmouth just couldn't come back. But, we've seen some good starts so far. I thought Chuck Harrison pitched well against Wareham back on Monday. There's been other notable examples, too, for this Commodores team. Anthony DeFabio was a bright spot when he came in. You mentioned Mike Esposito. And there's other guys, too, in the lineup or in the pitching staff that have had bright spots. But I think, you come here, you're playing in a different environment than you have during your college season, and maybe you never played on the Cape before either. And also not playing summer ball last year could just have some rust on guys playing from a college season onto a summer season. So, I still think these guys are wearing some of that rust off, but they have the arms and they have the talent that going forward, I think this team is in a good spot, especially because they have an offense that can help them on some off nights.
Commodores pitching staff has given up 37 hits this season in 27 innings, 24 runs, and 21 earned runs. All 3 of those lead the league. And you don't want to be leading the league in those categories in terms of pitching. But on the other side, you talk about that offense. It's been so spectacular in terms of scoring runs. 7 runs on opening night and then 8 in the 2 games following.
Yeah, and add that all up, and that's 23 runs through the first 3 games, which is the second most in the CCBL behind only Bourne, who scored 13 against Falmouth back on Wednesday, and in total this season has scored 29 runs through its first 3 games. But this offense has had no doubts from game 1. 7 runs scored in that season opener against Chatham. You go on the road, you score 8, and you follow that up with 8. And even you look at that Bourne game on Wednesday, Falmouth got down quickly, but they kept battling, and they were able to get 5 runs in the 5th. And then Bourne went up again, and Falmouth continued to fight. And what I really like about that is, despite the fact that Falmouth was down big, they continued to show some resiliency out there. They continued to fight. The bats continued to show up, and they didn't let up until that final out in the 9th inning.
Falmouth playing their 2nd road game of the season, and they traveled to Wareham on Monday night, picked up their only W of the season there. They come into Hyannis now, and similar names in the lineup that we've seen. We've seen Boyers bat 2nd. He then bats 9th, and today he'll bat in the leadoff spot. He picked up his offense a little bit in the previous game on Wednesday, though. Michael Curiali getting the start at second base and Braden Taylor the start at shortstop, flip-flopping those players up the middle.
Not only flip-flopping them, I think every game that Curiali has played so far, he's played in a different role for Coach Trundy's team. That home opener or the season opener back on Sunday, he was a designated hitter for this Commodores team, and he batted in the 9 hole. Then the next night, he moved over to shortstop. And then in the game that ended up getting rained out for Wareham, he was playing over in right field. And then against Bourne the other night, Curiali was playing in left. So 5 games now in 5 different spots for Curiali, and we just continue to see him be a Swiss Army knife for this team. And like you mentioned, Braden Taylor moves from second over to shortstop. He had some tough plays over at second in that loss to Bourne back on Wednesday night. He handled a lot of them well, and Maui Ahuna has been a guy that when he plays at short, we've had a lot of fun watching him. So Taylor will take over for him tonight, and I'm sure that the exciting plays will continue from the TCU product.
The Commodores defense, though, with 6 errors early on, so maybe that switch up the middle will help kind of change some of that defense for Falmouth. But talking about the bat of Michael Curiali, it's been absolutely sensational, hitting .500 on the season, 6 for 12 that is, has 2 doubles, a triple, and hit a grand slam to top it all off. The only home run of the season, well, at the time was the first of the season. Borfin hit another one as well later in that game on Wednesday, but Curiali batted 9th on opening night and all of a sudden just exploded there, and he's really ran with it up at the top of the Cape Cod Baseball League in most categories.
He definitely has. I mean, he batted 9th, like you mentioned, on opening night, and he went 2 for 4 that night with a couple of ribbies, and then ever since then he's batted up in that 2 spot for Coach Trundy's team, and no matter what pitchers have thrown at him, he continues to put the ball in play. I think what's most notable about his stat line so far is obviously hitting .500 is impressive, but he has yet to strike out this summer, so he's putting the ball in play. He's making defenses make plays and have to get him out the hard way, and I really like that fight from him because every time he steps up to bat, he has yet to go down via the K.
Jace Borfin, who homered on Wednesday night, hit a 2-run shot in the 8th inning, had 3 RBIs in the game, a sacrifice fly in the 9th, had a double as well. He was 2 for 4. He's been phenomenal as well, batting .500, 5 for 10 on the year, 2 runs scored, 2 doubles, a home run, 6 runs batted in. He's been hit by 2 pitches as well, only struck out 3 times so far. Borfin will bat in the 5 spot. And our sideline reporter, Joanne Bethea, was able to catch up with the Oklahoma Sooner product in right field, and she was able to catch up with him before today's game.
Just trying to jump on these guys early.
For the 3 games we have played so far, you have always seemed to find a way to make it on base. What are you seeing out of these pitchers in the Cape Cod League?
I'm just seeing a lot of guys trying to get ahead early, so just kind of gearing my approach to just kind of being aggressive early in the count. So first fastball comes over, I'm just trying to kind of just barrel it in the gap.
Wednesday's game was a little less than ideal. What's your mindset coming in today's matchup?
Just trying to jump on these guys early and then just kind of step on the throat and don't let off.
Good mindset.
Yeah.
On a little more lighthearted note, yesterday was an off day. Did you get to do anything fun, get to relax? What did you do?
Yeah, so we actually, some of us worked the little camp we have there at the Falmouth Field for little kids, and then some of us went to the beach, and myself included, so just kind of relaxed there and enjoyed it all.
Awesome. What a wholesome day off.
I know, right?
Thank you.
So that was Oklahoma Sooners right fielder Jace Borfin batting 5th tonight. For the Commodores, he'll play right field as well. Has been red hot to start his 2021 summer. And after an off day, the Commodores come in looking to kind of rewrite the ship after getting blown out 13-8 on Wednesday. And Jace Borfin, a big part of that offense that looks to continue. And one of the things he mentioned with the interview with Joanne is stepping on their throats early, this Hyannis team, getting out in front early. The importance of that is huge in baseball. Scoring first and continuing to maintain that lead, David, will be huge tonight for the Commodores.
It definitely is. I mean, baseball can be, I think, maybe more so than any other sport, a big mental game. Maybe golf's the only game that supersedes it in that sense. But when you're able to jump ahead early, it is notable. And you look at the 3 games that Falmouth has played so far, the only game that they've walked away with a win is the game that they jumped ahead first. That was back at Wareham on Monday. So They fell down early to Bourne. They fell down early to Chatham, and in both they battled, but they couldn't end up getting a win in the end. So this is a a Hyannis team that comes in 1-2 on the season, and granted it's a small sample size, but I think this Commodores team certainly has the pitching and the offense to combat what the Harbor Hawks are going to throw at the Commodores tonight.
Commodores sit in second place in the West, currently at 1-1-1 with 3 points, and they are 3 points behind the Bourne Braves, who are 3-0 with 6 points on the year. Hyannis in third place in the West Division, 1-2 with 2 points. So a big game tonight that could shake up the standings early in the season, the fourth game for both sides, and both sides looking to get out in front early as possible. The pitching matchup tonight, Connor Bovair is going to toe the rubber for Falmouth, his first appearance as a Commodore. Committed to play baseball at North Carolina next season, and a product out of Siena. He'll go up against Adrian Ciravo, who was added to the roster for Hyannis today. So yet to see what he's capable of, but both pitchers from different levels. Ciravo from Weatherford College, a JUCO level out in Texas, but a highly touted prospect out of high school, David.
Yeah, he definitely was, and he's going to make his CCBL debut here tonight for the Harbor Hawks. So it'll be exciting to see him get out there. Obviously, for Falmouth, it's the same story that Bovair is going to be making his debut as well here for Falmouth.
So the umpires meeting behind home plate as first pitch just around the corner here at McKeon Park. And we will take a break here on the Falmouth Commodores national anthem here at McKeon Park. Stay with us.
Marshall will be performing this summer at Harvard's Junior Theater from July 10th through August 1st in Silver Threads, a rockin' tribute to Linda Ronstadt, conceived by Sonia Schoening and Marshall Wittrow. Ladies and gentlemen, Marshall Wittrow.
It's time for baseball here at McKeon Park in Hyannis, Massachusetts. Welcome back into the Falmouth Commodores pregame show. Matt Levine alongside my partner David Hadar, Joanne Bethay, the third member of our crew as well. And tonight, a huge tilt between the Hyannis Harbor Hawks and the Falmouth Commodores that could shake up the early season standings in the West Division. Falmouth comes in at 1-1-1 with 3 points, 0-1-1 at home, 1-0 on the road. Their lone win at Wareham on Monday. And the fourth game of the season for Hyannis as well, 1-2 record and 1-0 record here at home. And as the Harbor Hawks take the field, they're donning their red uniforms tonight on this Friday evening. The camouflage hats, part of Red Day across the league. The home team's wearing that red jersey to honor the military and The Commodores coming in with their road black uniforms, all black, Falmouth draped across the chest, number on the front and back, and the black helmets as well. Adrian Ciravo, the freshman right-hander out of Weatherford College, will make his first Cape Cod Baseball League appearance. And the right-hander stands at 6'4", 215 pounds on the mound, and he's taken all of that appearance up in front of us.
Yeah, he definitely does. We've seen a lot of tall starters through the early goings of this season so far here, both for Falmouth and against Falmouth. But Ciravo comes in with good numbers out of Weatherford College. 15 starts this past season, where he went 8-3 over those starts, and total of 76 2/3 innings of work, and 103 strikeouts to just 33 walks. Ended the season with just a 3.17 ERA. So good numbers there down at the JUCO level. Falmouth, one of the best offensive teams in the CCBL in this early part of the season. The team's hitting at a 250 clip, which is third in the league. So it's going to be good pitching against good bats here between the Hyannis defense and the Falmouth offense. So should be some good stuff out here tonight.
So the Commodores going to roll with this lineup. Luke Boyers out of Texas Christian will play center field and lead things off. Michael Curiali at second base from UCLA will hit second. Braden Taylor, the shortstop, will bat third from TCU. Alex Sayre will clean things up from Wright State. He'll be the DH tonight. Jace Borfin, who Joanne was able to catch up with pregame from Oklahoma, will play right field and bat fifth. Batting sixth, Bryson Ware, the first baseman from Auburn. Batting seventh in left field tonight, Anthony Hall out of Oregon. Jonathan French behind the dish, batting eighth from Clemson. And Jake Ducart, the third baseman tonight from Oregon State, will round things out and bat ninth. So Luke Boyer steps in to lead things off for the Commodores tonight out of Boerne, Texas. Stayed home to play for TCU. And Ciravo with a big deep breath. And the first pitch of the ball game is a fastball away, and it's 1-0, and we are underway at 6:02 here in Hyannis. Pretty cloudy skies to start this baseball game tonight. 1-0 pitch. Inside call to strike on Boyers, and the count is now 1-1. Home plate umpire tonight is John Leone. Ciravo looks in for the 1-1. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball cut on and missed by Boyers. It's 1-2 now. Ciravo, a native of New Hampshire, was the #1 overall player and the #1 right-handed pitcher out of the state. 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball called. Strike three on the outside corner. And there's one down here in the top of the first as Boyer strikes out looking.
Good answer there by Ciravo, who started off with a ball that got away from the catcher Dylan Post and then answers back with 3 straight strikes and able to take down Boyers looking. Good stuff there from Ciravo. And Boyers, there was a breaking ball that was thrown in there for the third strike on Boyers and just couldn't catch up with it and didn't like what he saw there. And nice stuff early.
First pitch, Curiali swings and his helmet almost flies off, but he missed it. It's 0-1. Curiali, the hottest hitter on the team thus far, hitting .500, 6 for 12, had a grand slam on Wednesday night's game. And the breaking ball comes in low and away. It's 1-1.
And again, the thing to keep in mind here with Curiali, yet to strike out this season. So he's hitting .500, he's 6 for 12, and all 6 of those outs have been made in the field.
Ciravo deals the 1-1 up high with a fastball, now 2-1. Curiali, the sophomore infielder and outfielder. We've seen him, like you said, David, earlier, play pretty much everywhere on the field. Shortstop, second base, right field. That game didn't count, but here's the 2-1 from Ciravo. Good curveball and gets Curiali to swing and miss. Now it's 2-2. Curiali of UCLA was a freshman All-American in 2020, where he slashed .325, .357, and .525. 2-2 pitch comes in low and away. And now the count runs full. Curiali, one of few players to play in a summer baseball league last summer. Got time in the Northwoods League. He batted almost .300 there. in 39 games. Here's the 3-2 pitch. And Curiali watches ball 4 down low with a fastball. And the Commodores have their first base runner of the night with 1 out here in the top of the first for Braden Taylor.
And with Curiali there working the walk, it shows Saravo pitching around him and pitching cautiously to the dangerous hitter there. He fell behind in the count, did Curiali early, down 1-2, but was able to battle back. And that's just Saravo there. A combination of not being able to find the strike zone, but also pitching super cautiously to a guy who can do so much damage with the bat.
So here's Braden Taylor, the shortstop tonight, left-handed hitter. First pitch out of the stretch from Saravo is inside for a ball. It's 1-0. Taylor has also been sensational, batting third in every single game so far this season for Falmouth. Has been a vacuum at second base as well, but tonight getting the start at shortstop. Saravo set at the belt, looks over his back shoulder, and now the 1-0 comes in. And a high fastball misses up, and it's 2-0. Sometimes you'll see pitchers look over their front shoulder as a right-hander, looking towards first base, towards the base runner, but Saravo going over his back shoulder, which is a much tougher angle to look through. He comes set at the belt again. Takes a look at Curiali, and now the 2-0. Breaking ball missed outside to make it 3-0 to Taylor.
And that's now 6 straight balls that Saravo has thrown here to Falmouth batters. After the ball 2 that he threw to Taylor, he kind of nodded his head, a little frustrated with himself, and throws another ball there. So Taylor way ahead here, 3-0.
Taylor hitting .308 on the young season. Here's the 3-0 pitch. Fastball at the belt, called a strike down the middle. It's 3-1. 400 on base percentage for Taylor so far. He's 4 for 13, has 4 runs scored, and he's walked twice as well. He's done a little bit of everything out of TCU. Saravo set, 3-1 pitch. Taylor pops it up left side, tailing towards foul territory. Dom Johnson, the left fielder, has it lined up, and he can't make the catch as he overran it just a little bit in foul territory. So now it'll be a full count, but it should have been a fly out to left field, and Braden Taylor gets another hack at this and another chance with a count full.
Well, we mentioned earlier it's cloudy, but I don't think we mentioned it's been windy here in Hyannis. The wind carrying out towards center, left center field for most of the time we've been here so far today. And that ball there, I think, got caught up in the wind, and Johnson out in left field just was unable to kind of track it as it came down. Wind may have played a factor in it as well.
Wind pushing out towards right center field tonight. Here's the 3-2 as Curiali runs, and Braden Taylor crushes it to right field. And going back is Cunningham. He can't make the catch up against the fence. It falls out of his glove. Curiali goes all the way from first to third running on the pitch, and Braden Taylor stands up at second. So we'll see how they rule that. But Cunningham had to run a long way for it up against the fence. But nonetheless, 2 runners in scoring position. Braden Taylor inches away from a home run out into right center. And still 1 down here in the top of the first.
And it looks like they're going to give that a hit to Taylor. I would have thought that'd be an error. I thought that Cunningham out in right field probably should have come up with that grab, but nonetheless a tough ball for him. And so Falmouth with its first hit of the ball game there, as they have 2 runners in scoring position.
Curiali on third, Taylor at second. They're going to call it a double for Braden Taylor. And now Alex Sayer, the cleanup hitter, bats. First pitch, curveball, and a beautiful get-me-over first pitch curveball from Adrian Saravo is called a strike. It's 0-1. Sayer out of Wright State. Batting in the cleanup spot tonight. Saravo deals 0-1, popped up foul and out of play towards the right side, and now it's 0-2. Sayers 2 for 5 on the year with 2 runs batted in. He did not appear on Wednesday night for the Commodores. Got the start in the rainout on Tuesday. And now the 0-2. Breaking ball popped up into shallow center field. Caden Rose sprints in. He camps under it, and he makes the catch. His throw comes all the way home. And a beautiful throw on one hop to the catcher post allows Curiali to trail back to third. Not deep enough to be a sacrifice fly, and now 2 away with runners on second and third.
Rose showing off his arm out there in center field, and a really strong throw in, not only on one hop, but it was right at home plate. Post didn't have to move at all to make the grab there, and Curiali over on third, smart to hold up and try and stay here with an opportunity for the Commodores to bring home one or both of these guys on base.
Jace Borfin now stands in. Hit a 2-run home run on Wednesday night. First pitch fastball slicing down the left side and foul into the netting beyond the third base side dugout. 0-1 to Jace Borfin. 5 for 10 on the year. A home run and 6 runs batted in already through 3 games. Pretty good numbers at the plate for the Oklahoma Sooner. Suravo set with runners on second and third and 2 down. And kicks and deals the 0-1. Fastball low, but it catches the knees. And it's 0-2. Suravo's hat came flying off on that pitch. So the wind clearly showing that it's playing a factor tonight. Flag beyond the right center field wall. Slowly moving towards right center now. And Suravo set again at the belt. 0-2 pitch. Breaking ball stays up high to Jace Borfin, and it's outside 1-2. Borfin talked about it himself earlier today, getting out in front early and maintaining that lead throughout the game. A perfect opportunity to do that with both runners in scoring position now. 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball just fouled off the end of the bat. And Borfin stays alive. 78 miles an hour on the curveball there from Suravo.
Just able to get a hack at it and stay alive. Borfin had to adjust on his swing there and kind of made a flat dud of a noise as it came off the bat, but fortunate to just make a little bit of contact. That's all you need, and live to see another pitch.
Pitch number 25 coming up of the first inning. And Suravo deals the 1-2. Breaking ball, swing and a miss, strike 3. And Borfin goes down on the curveball that comes in at the knees. So Commodores strand 2 runners in scoring position after the double from Braden Taylor. And they stay scoreless as Hyannis comes to bat. Hyannis donning those red uniforms tonight. And we'll send it down onto the field to Joanne Bethea, who has a little bit.
Thanks, Matt. As you mentioned, you're seeing that Hyannis is sporting the red jerseys instead of their normal blue, and this is in support of Red Shirt Friday, the first one we've seen this season. Red is standing for remembering everyone deployed, and back in 2010, the current league president, Judy Scarfo, decided to have the league join the movement, and now every Friday you can see the whichever home teams in the league wearing red jerseys in support of our military.
Thanks, Joanne. And the hats donning as well, both sides wearing those camouflage hats. The back of the hat saying support our troops with the Cape Cod Baseball League logo on the front, and it's imprinted in front of a silhouette of Cape Cod. So just beautiful hats, beautiful jerseys, and for such a good cause of supporting the troops. So now Falmouth will take the field for the first time today. Hyannis will come to bat. And Connor Bovair is the pitcher tonight for the Commodores, who is making his first appearance.
Yes, he is. Another guy here for Falmouth who's out on the mound for the first time this season. We've only seen one guy so far for Falmouth pitch twice for the Commodores, and that was Jackson Phipps, who made his second appearance the other night. But getting back to Bovair, he comes in here out of Siena. He just finished up his freshman year, and this past season, pretty good overall in his first year at the collegiate level. 9 total starts for Siena. Went 4 complete games in those 9 starts and 55 2/3 innings of work. Only allowed hitters to hit 222 against him. So he comes out here for Falmouth, and he faces a Hyannis offense that hasn't been too explosive through the early goings of the season. So he'll try and limit them here tonight.
Caden Rose stands in to lead things off, and the first pitch from Bovair out of the windup, ripped right back up the middle. The fastball is put right back where it was pitched and into center field for a leadoff single. 1 pitch and 1 base runner. Caden Rose is aboard.
Caden Rose there attacking early and quick on Bovair. That's just Rose's second hit of the season, but he wastes no time getting it, going up the middle with that hit. And so early here, Hyannis with a man on first.
So Kyle Ball, now the shortstop from Stetson, bats second. Get you some of the rest of the lineup. Jake Cunningham in right, Mason Greer at third. Pujols is the first baseman. Dom Johnson in left as Bovair comes set, and the breaking ball is low. Good block by Jonathan French behind home plate, so it's 1-0 to the hitter Ball. Dom Johnson in left, batting sixth. Zane Harris batting seventh, the DH tonight. Dylan Post, the catcher, batting eighth, and Mariano Ricciardi bats ninth and plays second base. Small lead off of first for Caden Rose, and Bovair set at the belt. Kicks and deals the 1-0. Fastball low and a good pick out of the dirt by Jonathan French. Count moves to 2-0. Bovair, after a season at Siena, will transfer to North Carolina. Play for the Tar Heels next season. Now the 2-0 pitch. Breaking ball, stopped by French, but that allows the runner Caden Rose to advance up to second. Would have been a little bit more maybe if it got past French. He kept it in front, but it took a little bit of a hard bounce off of him and in front. Back into play. And a good dirt read by Caden Rose to advance on the wild pitch. And the count moves to 3-0 now to Kyle Ball. Ball just wrapped up his redshirt junior season at Stetson. 49 games started there at a .253 average. 3-0 pitch comes down the middle for a called strike, and it's 3-1. Last summer, he appeared in 11 games in the Florida Collegiate League, so another player getting some time during the COVID summer where most leagues did not play. Bovair set, 3-1. Fastball in the same spot down the middle, and the count runs full. So climb all the way back, Bovair does. Out of a 3-0 count, now it's 3-2. Curiali holding the runner on at second. Braden Taylor off the bag a little bit with the right-handed hitter up. And Jake Descartes plays relatively normal depth at third. Bovair set, 3-2 pitch. Breaking ball gets away from French. It's ball 4, and that'll allow the runner, Caden Rose, to move up to third base. So runners at the corners after a single and a walk with nobody down here in the bottom of the first.
And that's a tough break there for Bovair. Not only do you give up the walk, so you now have 2 guys on base, but the ball also gets away from French behind the dish. And so now Caden Rose has moved from first to third via 2 pass balls there or wild pitches, depending on how they were scored. And so already here, a runner 90 feet away from home plate, 2 runners on, nobody out here for Hyannis.
So here's Jake Cunningham, the right fielder. First pitch swinging and fouls it back into the backstop. On a fastball from Bovair, it's 0-1. First time he's been ahead of a hitter tonight. Runners at the corners, Caden Rose at third, and Kyle Ball stands at first. Cunningham finished his freshman season at Charlotte. Played in the Greenville Regional. 49ers came in third place in the region. He's also a native of Charlotte, so staying close to home. Played for the hometown school. Bovair, 1-0-1, is ripped right back up the middle for a base hit. And coming in to score is Rose. Moving up to second is Ball. 3 straight base runners and an RBI single for Jake Cunningham is the first run of the game. It's 1-0 Hyannis in the bottom of the first.
Well, good job there by Jake Cunningham, again going up the middle. So the 2 hits that Hyannis now has have gone up the middle. But this is already now the 3rd game of the season where Falmouth has given up runs in the opening inning to the opposing team. They did it against Chatham in the home opener. They did it against Bourne back on Wednesday, and then here again tonight against this team. And all 3 of those games, or the first 2 that they did it, either came away with a loss or a tie. So unable to set the tone here early, as there's still nobody out. Runners on first and second here now with the dangerous Mason Greer up.
Bovair is going to look to limit the damage with runners on first and second. Still nobody out. First pitch of the at-bat, big cut at the outside fastball, a little bit elevated to Greer. And it's 0-1. Greer out of JUCO level McLennan Community College. Spent his true freshman season at Auburn, so going from the Division I level back down to the JUCO level, and then looking to find his way back into the D1 level somewhere. Swings through the 0-1 pitch, and now it's 0-2. So back-to-back swinging and misses on fastball for Connor Bovair.
A good answer there by Bovair. He still has 1 strike to go, but to get ahead here early, 0-2, show that you're not phased and rattled by the couple of hits and the run you've given up so far.
0-2 pitch, another swing and a miss, and Connor Bovair has his first strikeout as a Commodore, one down here in the bottom of the first.
Well, a good answer there. After allowing the first 3 men to reach base, you come back and you're able to get that first out, and that's a big out here because with runners in first and second, you have a force out at all but home plate should the ball go into play here. So an opportunity to try and turn 2, limit the damage as best as possible, and get out of this inning with only giving up that 1 run.
Marcos Pujols steps in, the first baseman out of the University of Dayton. 6'1", 265-pound first baseman. Sounds a lot like Albert Pujols. Marcos Pujols will bat left-handed with runners on first and second, and the first pitch breaking ball stays up high. Above the letters, it's 1-0.
You make the comparisons, but we should just make sure it's clear. No relation between the two.
This Pujols out of Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic. Spent his prep career down in Florida, and now at the University of Dayton at the Division I level. Swings through the 1-0 pitch, and now it's 1-1. And Bovair's got 4 straight swing and misses for the strikes that he's thrown. 4 of the last 5 pitches. 51 games for Pujols this past season, 50 games started, and a .346 average with 12 long balls. A lot of power in that bat for the first baseman here for Hyannis. 1-1 pitch. Fastball up and out, now 2-1.
And he is hungry out there. He's 0 for 8 to start the season here with 5 strikeouts for the Harbor Hawks. So, he had good numbers this past season at Dayton, but still trying to pick up that first hit here, and he's definitely hungry up at the plate.
Bovair on the mound. Looking in with the ball in his glove and his arm draped down when he looks in for the signs from French. Jake Ducart plays off the line at third. Braden Taylor right behind the runner at second. Kyle Ball stands there. And the 2-1, another big swing and a miss from Pujols. It's 2-2. 5 straight strikes that Bovair has thrown. They've been swing and a miss. Bovair features a fastball, curveball, and a changeup. Said to have some run and sink on those fastballs that he's throwing, so could be why he's getting some swing and misses so far. Comes set at the belt. Or at the letters. Now the 2-2. Bounces in a changeup. Another good block by Jonathan French. The count runs full, but David French has been phenomenal all season. It seems like behind the plate. Hasn't gotten the bat going yet. He was hitting a ton of home runs in batting practice today. Just behind the dish, though, in game has been really good at blocking wild pitches.
He definitely has been, and I think as a whole, these catchers that the Commodores have put out there have had good stuff behind the dish, and overall have done a good job of limiting pass balls and wild pitches from getting past them.
3-2 pitch from Bovair. Line right back up the middle towards the shortstop Taylor. He catches it, tosses to second, and it's in time for the double play. Ball came off the bag too far at second, and Taylor was lined up perfectly with the line drive. He caught it, tossed to Curiali at second, and got the double play on Kyle Ball. And a huge double play there, turned up the middle, moving Braden Taylor to shortstop, Curiali at second. But that gets Bovair out of the inning, and it could have been a lot worse. Only 1 run comes home to score. It's 1-0 Hyannis as we head to the second.
Commodores and the Harbor Hawks, along with the Cape Cod Baseball League and the NCAA, would like to remind you that this is a tobacco and alcohol-free ballpark. Additionally, the Massachusetts Education Reform Act prohibits the use of any tobacco products at this location. We greatly appreciate your assistance in honoring this tobacco-free request. Also, cameras and video cameras are permitted inside McKeon Park for personal photos, but cannot be used to reproduce the game, players, or on-field events without the express written permission of the Harbor Hawks. Use of camera or video equipment must not interfere with other fans' enjoyment of the game. Thank you for your consideration. Also, fans, at the top of the 3rd inning tonight, we will be selecting a participant to predict the speed of a pitch in order to win a prize. So be on the lookout for our intern, Emily, who will pick one lucky person to do just that.
Bryson Ware to lead things off here in the top of the second. Hyannis holding a 1-0 lead. An RBI single back in the first inning from Jake Cunningham. And now first pitch from Saravo out of the windup is a called strike on the outside corner to Ware, the Auburn product. It's 0-1. Ware still looking to get going offensively. 0 for 7 this season so far. Breaking ball gets him swinging out of his shoes, and it's 0-2 now. One hit from Braden Taylor back in the first for the Commodores, but 2 base runners were in scoring position. They stranded them both there. 0-2 pitch. Curveball comes on the outside corner, and Ware is able to check his swing. He did not go around, so it's 1-2. Cloudy evening here in Hyannis. Now the 1-2 from Saravo. Fastball had a lot of velocity on it. Taken low by Ware. It's 2-2. Borfin struck out to end the top of the first, so it's Ware, Hall, and French due up in this inning. Curveball on the 2-2 pitch is down the middle, and Ware stares at strike 3. He goes down looking for the third strikeout and second consecutive strikeout for Saravo.
Yeah, Saravo looking much more comfortable on the mound there after in the first he gave up a walk and then a double to the Commodores. But after getting out of the first unscathed and with a couple of strikeouts, comes back here and responds against Ware to get his second looking K of the night.
Now Anthony Hall, the Oregon Duck. First pitch is a called strike on a fastball on the inside corner. It's 0-1. Hall, another player, 0 for 4 this season so far, but has a lot of pop in that bat that we've seen featured in batting practice. Looking to get that going here. 0-1. Pops it up towards the right side. Going out is Ricciardi, and coming in is the right fielder Cunningham, who calls him off as his hat flies off to make the catch. And now 2 down. 2 up and 2 down here in the second, and Jonathan French looking to keep the inning alive.
American flag out in right center field has died down a little, and where we're sitting here right around home plate area definitely feels a little less windy than it did at first pitch, so a little less trouble there for Jake Cunningham out in right field to come in and make that grab. Good job of communicating between him and Ricciardi as he's able to call off the second baseman and make the grab for the second out.
First pitch to Jonathan French. Fastball's up at the letters, a called strike. It's 0-1. French, the Clemson catcher, who has been really solid so far this season defensively. Looking to get going offensively, though. 0-1. Taken inside for a ball. Might have been a changeup there at 83 miles an hour. Had some movement on it from Saravo. Infield and outfield at normal depth here with 2 down. 1-1 pitch. Fastball down low, but called a strike. And you can see Jonathan French kind of look up and question that in his head. Count moves to 1-2, but a couple of low strikes called from John Leone tonight. As long as it's consistent, the hitters will adjust to it. And out of the windup, 1-2. Breaking ball ripped right down into right center field, and it bounces in and bounces off the wall. French trips around first, but he'll be able to get into second, diving head first safely. It was a much closer play as the throw from Cunningham came in deep right center field. And French smiling now as he stands on second with a double in his first hit of the season.
First hit of the season, not a bad way to do it after a called strike that you're not a huge fan of. You come back and put that bat around. Good job putting bat to ball there and putting it into right center field, and then showing the hustle around the base paths as he has his first hit of the season. And the Commodores with another runner in scoring position now.
One step off first, and French tripped. Almost had to retreat back, but he was able to keep his footing and get all the way to second. So now runner on second. Ducart lines the first pitch into center field, and that'll drop in for a base hit. Being waved home by Becker is French, and he will score standing up. The throw goes now to second, and sliding in safely is Jake Ducart with an RBI single. He advances to second on the throw. Interesting, though, that the throw came in from center field. Caden Rose threw it all the way to the plate, but it was cut off by the pitcher, Saravo. You rarely see the pitcher cut it off. You should see him backing up the throw behind the plate. But Saravo was able to cut it off right around the mound, and then his throw to second was just a bit high, so Ducart was able to slide in.
Yeah, it was interesting to see him standing there, and we often see pitchers when they field the ball sometimes struggle to throw that ball to the base. And sure enough, for a guy who always throws home, unable to get the throw in a good spot at second, so that allows Ducart to get in safely.
So Ducart with the RBI single makes it 1-1 here in the top of the second, and Luke Boyers bats for the second time today. The first pitch outside for a ball. It's 1-0. Boyers struck out looking his first time up, but with 2 outs, a little bit of a rally for the Commodores. And it's the 8th hitter, Jonathan French, and the 9th hitter, Ducart, coming through big to tie up the game. 1-0 curveball, and Boyers lays off of it on the low and inside. Out to end the inning, but Falmouth gets one back to tie the game. Jonathan French with a double and an RBI single by the 9-hitter Jake Ducart ties it up here in the top of the second. We head to the bottom of the second, all tied up again. It's 1-1 from McKeon Park. To the bottom of the second here at McKeon Park, Matt Levine alongside David Hadar, and Falmouth able to tie up the ball game in the top of the second. It's 1-1, an RBI single from Jake Ducart. Now he'll go over to third base where he gets the start today. Dom Johnson will lead things off out of Oklahoma State, the left fielder tonight for Hyannis. Connor Bovair back on the mound after giving up 1 run in the first inning. And the righty goes over top in his windup, and the first pitch breaking ball bounces for a 55-footer, and it's 1-0. Dom Johnson just wrapped up his freshman season as an outfielder for the Oklahoma State Cowboys. Played in 11 games, went 2 for 13. 1-0 pitch, big swing and a miss at the fastball down the middle. Count evens up at 1-1. Dom Johnson has ties to the Oklahoma State Cowboys. His father, Andre, played football there as well. 1-1, fastball misses up above the letters. So now it is 2-1. And Bovair behind in the count. We've seen him get into a spot like this multiple times tonight, especially early in the first inning when there was a single walk and then an RBI single. Helped by a double play to get out of the inning. 2-1, another elevated fastball up above the eyes of the hitter Johnson, and now the count 3-1. In Infield and outfield at normal depth with nobody out. 3-1 pitch. Popped up in the infield towards the right side. Curiali goes back a couple steps. The wind has it moving a lot, but he's able to backpedal a couple steps to make the catch out in shallow right center. And now there's one down here in the top of the second.
Yeah, I think we're definitely going to be keeping an eye on that wind all night long. Curiali there got under it and then had to keep retreating back as it got closer and closer to him, and able to make the grab in the end, though. So that's what matters. Curiali making his first start over at second base. So we mentioned it earlier, but 5 different games that the Commodores have played in 5 different positions in the field for Michael Curiali.
So bottom of the second, rather, that is, and Harris pops it up foul and out of play on the first pitch. So it's 0-1, and getting ahead finally is Connor Bovair. Zane Harris out of Wright State, the DH tonight. And the DH for the Commodores, Alex Sayer, out of Wright State. So the two teammates being the designated hitter for their respective sides tonight. Harris at 6'5", 250 pounds, and bats as a left-hander, covering all of that left-hander's batter's box. 0-1, loopy curveball, doesn't break. Now it's 1-1. Harris's batting average in 2018 at Wright State was .342. Since then, it's gone down in each year of his career. Count now 2-1. So Bovair, after getting ahead 0-1, falls behind to make it 2-1. Curiali shades towards the first base side just a little bit at second. Now the 2-1 from Bovair. Crushed deep into right field, and that will be gone if it's fair. Over the trees in right, it's a fair ball, and an absolute no-doubt blast from Zane Harris makes it 2-1. Hyannis takes the lead back here in the bottom of the second.
Well, Zane Harris there with an absolute no-doubter down the line, and it cleared the fence easily out there. It's 321 down the right field line, and no doubter that it got out. His first home run of the season here for the Harbor Hawks. His first RBI as well. So picks up a couple of knocks with that hit there and puts the Harbor Hawks back on top there. Bovair there just leaves a ball well over the plate that Harris was able to turn on. Seeing the ball well here early are the Harbor Hawks. Already their third hit of the ball game.
Zane Harris absolutely crushed that ball on the first pitch to Dylan. Post is grounded towards second base. Curiali fields. His throw is in time. Almost took Bryson Ware off the bag at first, but he's able to catch it and hold his foot down. So now 2 down. And a big response from Connor Bovair to get one pitch after the long home run and have it be a ground out in the infield. Now Mariano Ricciardi steps in. Second baseman out of the University of Dayton. 2 Dayton Flyers in the starting lineup tonight for Hyannis. 2-1 Hyannis in the bottom of the second. And the first pitch from Bovair is low and in. 1-0 to Ricciardi. Ricciardi 5'7", 170, so we saw 6'5", 260 from Harris. And now 5'7", 170, 2 batters later. 1-0. Line down the left field line, hooking foul. And it'll go into the bullpen beyond the left field side. Now 1-1. Ricciardi started in 51 games for the Flyers this season, had 70 hits, and batted .352 on the year. 11 doubles and a home run as far as extra base hits go. 1-1, popped up towards the left side. This might be playable, and Ducart can't get it, just out of his reach in foul territory, and now it's 1-2.
Good hustle there, though, from the third baseman to try and get that ball. A couple of swings from Ricciardi that have gone foul down the left field line. So swinging early with that bat, swinging late with that bat to get it down there, and behind in the count here, 1-2.
Ricciardi out of West Boylston, Massachusetts. Was all-championship team in the A-10 this 2021 spring. And now the 1-2 from Bovair. Grounded through the legs of the hitter, Ricciardi. I don't know how he did that, as he fouled it down into the ground, but it went in between his legs and towards the right side. So Bovair set at the belt now, and he'll look in for the signs, and he deals the 1-2. Curveball doesn't break enough and stays above the helmet of the 5'7" infielder Ricciardi. Count evens up at 2-2. Ricciardi led the Flyers and tied for third in the Atlantic 10 with his .352 average. 2-2, outside with a fastball. Now it's 3-2, so the count runs full after Bovair gets ahead once again. Big pitch coming up. Here's the 3-2. Line down the left field line, tailing away. Anthony Hall will not have enough room. It was over the fence, the shorter fence that is, in foul territory. Had it been fair, might have been over the taller fence in fair territory down the left field line, but that just kept carrying out there.
And that's already the third that he's put into the bushes out there down the left field line.
So the count stays full with 2 outs and nobody on. 2-1, Hyannis has the lead in the bottom of the second. Payoff pitch. Inside, almost hits him, and it's ball 4. And the fastball just got away from Bovair. And the inning continues, a 2-out walk. And a good at-bat for Ricciardi to get the pitch count for Bovair up a little bit. Now 35 pitches through an inning and 2/3 so far.
This Hyannis team has definitely been making Bovair work there out on the mound. 3 hits in this ballgame, 1 run each of the first 2 innings, and leading 2-1 here with 2 gone.
Caden Rose back at the top of the order. The first pitch to him, he dances his feet away from the inside changeup, and it's 1-0. Rose singled on the first pitch he saw back in the first. Advanced to second and third on wild pitches. That was 2 separate wild pitches. And then he came around to score on the Jake Cunningham RBI single. Out of the stretch now, Bovair deals. 1-0, big cut by the hitter Rose, and he missed it on a fastball down the middle. That had a lot of plate to it. And Rose wanted to put that right back up into center field again. Bottom of the second, 2-1 Hyannis. 2 down and a runner on first. Bovair deals. 1-1, ripped foul on 1 hop and almost into the dugout on the first base side, or third base side rather, for Hyannis, and it's 1-2.
And a good breaking ball there from Bovair. He got some good late drop to it that Rose was just able to get some contact with to stay alive. We've seen a couple of Bovair's breaking balls stay upstairs and not break, but that one does the exact opposite. And so he's ahead in the count now, 1-2.
Rose started 42 games in center field for Alabama this past season, and he rips the 1-2 into center field. Boyers comes in a couple steps to make the grab and retire the side. Not before a absolute blast from Zane Harris gives Hyannis the lead back. It's 2-1 going into the third inning.
Fans, due to the required COVID-19 protocols, the Cape Cod Baseball League and local Cape Cod health departments remind you that all unvaccinated persons should wear masks and socially distance wherever necessary. Wash your hands often with soap and water. If you're sick, please stay at home. We appreciate your cooperation, and welcome back to Cape Cod Baseball. Leave out
To the third inning we go here in Hyannis, and it's 2-1 Harbor Hawks. Matt Levine alongside David Hadar, and top of the third, Michael Curiali is going to lead things off. Face off against Adrian Ciravo, and something pretty cool just happened at this ballpark in between innings. We'll get to that in a little bit, but Ciravo's set for the first pitch of the third inning. Fastball checked his swing, Curiali did, but it stays in play down the first baseline. Pujols fields and steps on the bag with plenty of time to retire Curiali. One pitch and one out here in the third.
Tough break there for Curiali, who's now 0 for 1 in the game after that ground out there. Didn't like what he saw, but still gets it in play. So quickly one gone here for Adrian Ciravo.
Braden Taylor steps in, doubled his first time up. In between innings, Hyannis did a little fan engagement thing here where they asked a little kid to guess the speed of the warm-up pitch from Ciravo. First pitch to Braden Taylor. Called strike down the middle with a changeup. It's 0-1. He guessed 90 miles an hour. Ciravo asked the catcher, Dylan Post, what did he say? What did the fans say? Post signaled 90 miles an hour, and Ciravo went on the mound and threw a warm-up pitch that was exactly 90 miles an hour. As this one also 90 comes in at 1-1, or to make it 1-1 low, but I don't think I've ever been able to guess the speed of a pitch and get it right on my first try.
Yeah, what made it even better was that before he threw the pitch, Ciravo took a couple deep breaths. You know, he was playing along with it.
And the 1-1 is crushed into right field, but Cunningham hasn't lined up a couple steps in front of the wall to retire Braden Taylor. So 2 up and 2 down now. That's 3 straight batters retired for Adrian Ciravo.
And also, when Ciravo threw that warm-up pitch, you could tell he took something off of it. I don't think I'd ever be able to guess what speed I'm throwing out of my arm, just based on my arm movement. But Ciravo clearly, you know, a talented pitcher, able to do that there. So he won the fan. I believe it was a keychain, they said. So the young child won a keychain.
Alex Sayer takes the first pitch low. It's 1-0. Another 55-footer out of the hand of Ciravo. Working quickly, the 1-0. Called strike at the knees. Count moves to 1-1. So Ciravo now taking a walk around the bump. Big deep breath, readjusts his cap, and he'll step back on it in the windup. 1-1 to Sayer. Fastball up and in, brushes him off the plate. Now it's 2-1. Commodores have had base runners on. That's 2 of them. Or 4 total, but have had 2 in each inning so far. Breaking ball misses low. Another about 58-footer this time. Bounces 2 feet in front of the plate. Moves to 3-1 now, the count. Some tossing down in the Hyannis bullpen. 3-1 count to Sayer, who flew out into center his first time up. And now the 3-1 pitch. Popped up right behind home plate. Post the catcher, moves a couple steps behind the dish. He can't find it, and now it drops in. And a foul ball makes the count 3-2. So that's the second time today we've seen a foul ball that probably should have been caught by Hyannis, but they can't find it, or they're either losing it in the clouds, that white baseball in the white clouds, or the wind is playing some sort of a factor. But 2 opportunities that Falmouth hitters have gotten right back.
Got to capitalize on it now.
Count runs full. Sayer's ready back in the box. And a huge deep breath from Ciravo on the mound. 3-2 pitch. Popped up, now over our heads and out of play. And that'll go off the deck of the press box right behind us. And the count stays full.
Dangerous area here where we're seated. One ball that landed about 15 feet in front of us, and then a ball that lands 10, 15 feet behind us. So I hope the average doesn't happen here and it comes at us.
3-2 again. Breaking ball misses outside, and a good take by Sayer to work ball 4, and he's aboard with 2 outs.
Yeah, good job there. You know, you in a way capitalize off of the drop foul ball that Post dropped. So you get a base runner on here, 2 outs. Trying to have a little 2-out rally here with Borfin coming up here.
Falmouth's had a base runner on in each inning, and Jace Borfin, the hitter, now struck out his first time up to end the bottom of the top of the first, rather. First pitch, he grounds foul into the dugout on the first base side, and Borfin now behind 0-1. So Hyannis leads 2-1 here in the top of the third. Sayer leads off of first. Saravo set, looking over his back right shoulder at first base. 0-1 pitch, and Borfin swings it in the dirt. And now it's 0-2. That changeup was nasty and fell off the shelf to Borfin. If Borfin could get that swing back, he probably would take it. But now he's behind 0-2. Third baseman Greer plays a little bit off the line and behind the third base bag. In the middle infield, pitching towards second. 0-2 is fouled off by Borfin. A lot of foul balls we've seen from the Falmouth hitters with 2 strikes, just staying alive in counts and extending at bats.
And that's what you try and do there with 2 strikes. You choke up on the bat. Your whole goal is just to make contact, put the ball in play. But if you're at least able to get it foul, you live to see another pitch and try and at least work up the pitcher's count a little, maybe fight back in the at-bat if you're able to.
Saravo set. A little bit bigger lead for Sayer at first, and the 0-2 is popped up into shallow center. Sprinting in is Rose, and now he has it lined up. And just in time to get there to make the catch. And that ends the inning. So 1 base runner on in Alex Sayer working a 2-out walk, but 4 hitters come up to the plate and nothing doing for the Commodores offensively in the third. We head to the bottom of the third. It's 2-1 Hyannis as they look to add on more.
The Harbor Hawk merchandise booth has everything from t-shirts to hats, sweatshirts, and polos, as well as memorabilia. The merchandise booth is open throughout the game and is once again located at the base of the press box. Be sure to stop by and support the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. And be sure to buy your 50-50 raffle tickets at today's game. Just be on the lookout for our intern. Making their way through the crowd. As always, we have a multitude of prizes we'll be giving away today, including half the money collected. But we also, again, have numerous other prizes that will be raffled off. And fans, while you're out buying those raffle tickets, please be sure to also visit the Hyannis Harbor Hawks concession stand. They have plenty of food and beverage options, including hot dogs, popcorn, and many other special treats. That's at the Hyannis Harbor Hawks concession stand located behind the press box. Enjoy your dinner.
Back here at McKeon Park, Matt Levine alongside my broadcast partner David Hadar. And we head into the bottom of the third. 2-3-4 due up for Hyannis. They hold a 2